Gosh, there is so much that I want to start with today. um, this is the problem I have is that, yeah, it was really nice to start with the energy pools. This is the problem I have is that I would like to start with a billion things. And it's like, where are the kittens going? Where are we going over here? So let's do this. Okay. So everywhere that you have decided that you cannot be present with business and increase your capacities with what you know about business, where you destroy and uncreate it, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverts, creations, bases, and beyonds. What I would like is for you guys to start to look at what is true for you as a being in business. Okay. Because I mean, if you look at history of business, it's if you look at history of business and money, so much of it was created for trade reasons, right? To make life easier. It wasn't meant to make life hard. It was meant to make life easier. So, for example, it's like Joya's got cows. I've got chickens. I'm going to have eggs. I want to get some of her milk. And it's like what we used to do was, and it was a business. She would give me some of her milk. I would give my eggs and we would trade. Okay. But what occurred over time too was maybe I had to travel over a mountain and bring my eggs to her to get her milk, etc. Okay. And my eggs sort of like maybe I stumbled and fell and my eggs just broke all over the place. So what we ended up doing was going, you know what, let's create something that makes this easier. I'm just going to take silver coins is what they started with. I'm going to take some silver coins because that has value because we perceived it had value. I'm going to take that to Joya. I'm going to buy her milk and then she has these silver coins. And then she'd go to Marius, who has some pigs, and she can buy a pig, right? And it's like that's how we created. And then, Michelle has wood. So then Marius goes to Michelle and goes, well, I want to get some of your wood. So we started interacting and engaging with each other with what our capacities were and are. Like, what do you have that is a great capacity that you haven't been willing to acknowledge? Everywhere you haven't been willing to acknowledge what your capacities are, where you destroy and uncreate it, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverts, creations, bases, and beyonds. So we had that initial engagement. It's like, for me, I get like, okay, so let's do this. You're here right now, this lifetime. If you can, shut your eyes. If you're driving, don't. Jenny Lynn, don't shut your eyes. And what I want you to do is I want you to go back 300 years. Take a breath. Be aware of your body. What are you aware of around you? What do you smell? What business were you in? Did you have money? Did you not have money? Were you hungry? Were you thirsty? Were you full? What do you notice? Usually most of you are going to notice some sort of agriculture, because around that time there's going to be a lot of the agricultural business. Now I want you to go back 1,000 years. What do you know about business? What are you aware of? Was there pain? Was there suffering? Was there trauma? Was there drama? Was there happiness? What are you aware of? Now go back 100 years. Go back to your last lifetime, whatever that is for all of you. The last lifetime that you were living here on planet Earth, what did you choose with business? What did you avoid with business? What did you decide with business? What decisions did you make that you vowed you would never, ever, 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 ever choose that again? And everything that is, and all the points of view that you created around business in this lifetime, in any other lifetime, Will you please revoke, recount, rescind, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all of your oaths, vows, fealties, communities, agendas, secret agendas, every secret decision and limitation that you created for you as a being in business, will you now destroy and uncreate it? Times of God's in, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbs, creations, bases, and beyonds. Never started a BDD with that before. How does it get any better than that? So again, what I would like you guys to get to is your awareness of business, because each and every single one of you have a different awareness, okay? And, we're brought up to, oh, you have to have, a master's degree. You have to have gone to college or university, or you have to have done all these different things. You have to have been trained in business. I don't personally believe that's true. I think you're all aware of something. And what future are you denying yourself by not allowing yourself to step into the awareness of what you perceive, know, be, and receive with and as business? And everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbs, creations, bases, and beyonds. So let's talk about decisions in business to start them. Your decisions and the definitions that you've created, right? So and if you have something, you can just write it in the chat thread or unmute yourself and just yell it out. And it's like, what definition do you have of business today? How do you define business? Is it hard? Is it fun? Is it joyful? Is it serious? Is it something you have to do 9 to 5, Monday to Friday? Or is it a Saturday night gig? It's serious and important, Sophie said. So everything that is times the Godzine, all the energetic projections and expectations and judgments that come up that create the rejections and separations, where you destroy and uncreate it, times the Godzillion. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbs, creations, bases, and beyonds. And Lotta said, it's limited. So what's your definition of business? What definition do you have of business that doesn't allow you to be you? Complicated, you've got to earn money, create. Massimiliano, I didn't know you were on here. I can never say your name. It has to work, has to make me money, limited in possibilities, which is funny, Melike, that you're saying that. Who's this amazing, beautiful artist as one of her gigs, right? And she's saying it has to work, it has to make me money, limited in possibilities, loads of. You have to do it this way if you want it to be successful. And you do your artwork like nobody else I've ever seen. So if you do your artwork like nobody else has seen, but this is what happens, and then you have this point of view in place, you're literally functioning from like this conflictual paradigm. And part of the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement with the All 100, for me, that would be like the 100 stories that we have. So I'm using Malika as an example now. It's like she's got this, like the 1 to 49, 50, sorry, 1 to 50 has all these beautiful stories of this beautiful artwork that she creates, and how she's just always inspired by everything around her, etc., and all of that and more. And then the 51 to 100 is all the stories about, oh yeah, but it's got to be something that that people will receive, or it's got to make me money, or it's got to. So you've got all these different stories in place, rather than destroying and uncreating that all 100 and going, okay, if I was letting consciousness lead me, what would I choose? What do I know? What am I aware of? And what have we got here? Someone's in French. A big blur mixed with confusion, muddled, so asking for ease, joy, and glory, business. And yeah, so how many of you have muddled business? Because how many definitions are you functioning from in regards to business that aren't yours? And then you're trying to understand it And then what you do is you create this compression around you, like, and as you, in your body and in your whole entire world, which in truth you can function from a universe of possibilities, but you create this compression so that you're trying to fit into everybody else's point of view and what everybody else is choosing. So what compression level are you trying to fit into and choosing? And everything at that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbs, creations, spaces, and beyonds. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning and about business, and we were saying how, like this morning I lay in bed and I went, okay, and please do this, home play. I started reaching into what I desired. And I was like, I'm not going to be satisfied with just this, and this. No, I'm asking and I'm reaching for what I would like to show up now, please. And she was saying to me how she does that every morning as well. But then you get up, you go out, you start talking to people, and everybody's, whether it's verbal or just energetic, is their projections, their judgments, their expectations, their all of their crap, right? So then you start going, oh, compress, compress, compress. And then you start trying to find solutions, get results, solve problems, do all of this. But all you're doing is functioning from the compression level that everybody else is so that you can fit in. You have the ability to function from expansion. So every time, like right now, this is one of your tools, okay? Every time you find yourself doing this compression, what I want you to look at is, if you were not choosing to compress, expand, okay? What can you expand into? So what expansion could you use to exponentialize your business? And when I say business out throughout these days, I mean your projects, everything, your ideas, okay? Business is the word that includes all of that, whether it's a project, ideas, whatever, okay? So everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbs, creations, spaces, and beyonds. So if we expand for everything, and the possibilities around us can show up. But when we start functioning from that energy of compression, all we do is function from the problems of this reality. So look outside what is the normal reality and let's ask for ours. So what energy, space, consciousness, choice, magic, miracles, mysteries, possibilities, power, potency, and profitability can you, your bodies, and your business be that would allow you to expand into the universe of possibilities that is truly available for us? And everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbs, creations, bases, and beyonds. Okay, so what energy does your business require? So guys, look at this as well, because, and thank you, Monica, for your question, because every business requires at least 3 energies in order to be successful, okay? So the 3 energies that we talk about, the main ones, is creator, connector, and mover. There's way more than that as well, which we can get into. But so you have the creator energy, which the creator energy is the person who comes up with a billion ideas. We call it shower ideas in my team, my koi. We call ourselves a koi. It's a conglomeration of idiots. Is my team. Because you come out of the shower and you're like, I just had an idea. It's a shower idea. If you're like that, if you're that person in the shower that just comes up with a billion ideas, or you're cooking and you come up with a billion ideas, you're probably a creator. Okay. So, and then you've got the connector. The connector is the person who will just talk to anybody, right? Like absolutely anybody. And they know they'll sort of have that energy of like, oh, you know who you should talk to? Oh, you should talk to this person. Like, and they'll connect people, they'll connect businesses, etc. Then you have the mover, and the mover is the person who has the ability to perceive the future and know what you have to choose today in order to create that future, right? So the mover has that energy of knowing what to choose, like what action do you take today so that we can have that future. Now, creator, connector, mover, Then you have foundational. Foundational is the person who is good at all three. Okay. So if you're trying to figure out what you're great at, have a moment and look at the energy of it. Which one, I'm going to say, which one do you think is the best one? Because usually if you go, oh my God, connecting is so amazing, like that's the best one, da da da, is what you're not usually good at. Because what we tend to do is we tend to disregard our abilities. So if you're a great creator, you're like, everybody can do that. No, they can't. Okay. If you're a great mover, you're like, everybody can do that. No, they can't. All right. So I want you to have a look with your business. So Monica, with your business and what you would like to, create and what you would like to choose, what part of the business are you capable of? Like where your abilities lie, creator, connector, mover, and it could be creator, mover, like, or connector, creator, right? So then ask, what energy does my business require in order to actualize what it is you're asking for? Because we all have these, and for now, like your home play, if you choose, all the home play I give you, you choose, okay? You don't have to do it. It's up to you. But what I'm going to ask is, what would you like out of this class? Like, what are you asking for? Okay? What are you asking for with your business, with your projects, with your ideas? And please reach, don't just write down something that's satisfactory. Let's go. Let's freaking reach for something bigger and greater than you've ever perceived possible. Have you ever wanted to have all the Access classes in the same place? Or you're new to Access and would like to discover more? Check out the app at access.me. There's a class for any topic, and you literally have access to over 25 years of classes of change, choice, and possibility. We tend to do this thing of being autonomous. I think this is in the manual too. We create these autonomous realities, like especially when you start a business and you're like, well, this is my business. I own this business. This is my baby. I started this. Oh, I'm aware of what this needs. I can do all of this. I don't need anybody else. Like all these different various points of view, which are reasons and justifications for not including contribution from everywhere around you. And on the money energy pool I just did, I spoke about receiving. And receiving is something I get to discover every day. Like, I remember when Gary Douglas, who I met 24 years ago, first said to me, I met him at this Mind, Body and Spirit Festival in Sydney, and he hugged me. I knew who he was, and he hugged me. And when I met him, and then I sort of pulled away from him, and he said to me, you'd be a lot better off if you're open to receiving. And I looked at him and thought, oh, what? You have no idea what's going on with me, dude. I just had this really good friend of mine die, and I was really pissed off at the world, and I was angry and all this sort of stuff. And he said this to me, and that night I couldn't sleep. All I could think about was this man saying to me, you'd be a lot better off if you were open to receiving. I was like, what the fuck? And so the next day I walked up to him. Actually, I didn't walk. I marched up to him because I was pissed off at the world, hands on hips, petulant. And he was like, good morning. And I'm like, yeah, is it? Such a bitch. And he was like, what's up? And I went, well, you told me yesterday that I'd be a lot better off if I was open to receiving. And he was like, yeah. And I went, I didn't think I was allowed to receive. And I grew up my whole life with the point of view that I wasn't allowed to receive, that my job here on the planet was just to give. How many of you have the point of view that you're allowed to give, but you're never allowed to receive? Everything that is, we destroy and uncreate it, control freaks of the universe. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbs, creations, spaces, and beyonds. Damn. So receiving is about receiving all energies, okay? So if you look at your business, and we're talking about definitions, and you look at your business, who have you defined your business is for? Because that definition of who you defined your business is for will limit who you can receive from. And the business I had way before Access, Good Vibes for You, one of the things I had was I had stickers and magnets and all this merchandise with sayings on them. And I remember someone saying to me, oh, who's your, what's the word you use? Not clientele, your, forgotten the word. Niche, yeah, there's another word I'm thinking. Anyway, but that's the energy of it, right? And I looked at them and I thought, I know they want me to go female and this younger age group. And I went, it's everyone. And I noticed that that was my point of view, was that and I said, it's available for everyone who's willing to receive it. And that day I had this guy come up to me and he had this like, motorbike jacket on, like he was a club member, and he had Jack Daniel's t-shirt and he had long hair, and, he'd obviously ridden up in a motorbike. He was at a Mind, Body and Spirit festival. And he's looking at all my stickers. And I went up and said hello to him, and I said, hey, which one are you going to get? And he picked out the "Be You and Change the World," the Gandhi quote that I had on a sticker. And I went, cool. And I said, where are you going to put it? And he went, on the back of my bike. And I was like, awesome. If I had had the point of view that my business was only for young girls, or, from the age of 15 to 35, then that man probably wouldn't have walked up to my stall and brought a sticker. And my whole business was, how do I change everyone's lives? Funnily enough, then I met Access and I went, holy shit, Gary and Dana talking about everything that I wanted to create with my business. And I was just like, more of this, please. And here I am today, 24 years later. Okay. So who have you defined your business is for? Like, one of the things I talk to Joy Business Facilitators, JCFs, about is, who are you willing to have in your class? If you can't have David Kubis be the only one that has lawyers in your class, or how many people are okay with just having men, or just having women, or just having single moms, or, who are you comfortable with your business, and who are you uncomfortable with, and how much of that is based on judgment? And you've defined who your business is for, rather than allowing you and the business to receive from the entirety of the universe. Do you get how much that is holding your money flows back? So everything as that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, proverbs, creation, spaces, and beyonds.